Hey guys, welcome to Blocked Content. I know a lot of you guys were asking me, where's the footage from PAX? Why didn't you analyze that kind of stuff? So I'm actually going to do that right now. I'm very happy that you guys sent me all these cool videos to analyze because I know no one else is doing it. So I'm going to be the one to show you guys what's going on with this Paper Mario Color Splash footage right here from PAX West, actually. And Nintendo actually brought a brand new stage or part of the game for people to play. And it looks very cool because this is actually one giant stage, including a boss fight, some exploration, some new items, some very cool stuff. So I'm very happy to show you guys what's going down with this game. And we're starting here, and right off the bat we actually notice that Mario is sneaking past these Koopa Troopas, but as I mentioned in the previous videos, it's never really clear in this game when enemies are enemies and when they're friends. So at this point in time, these Koopa Troopas right here, you can actually talk to them, you can press A and you can start a dialogue. I think it's a very weird choice because they don't look any different from the normal Koopa Troopa, so how does this work exactly? I don't really know, but all I know is that it's a weird choice, but I think the dialogue is very well done in this game. I really dig the humor style. Everything about it is actually pretty funny. I don't have many instances where jokes don't hit, so I'm very happy about that. So Mario's walking through the stage, the Coliseum stage, and there's a Sniffet right there. He notices Mario, but Mario kind of dodges him. He goes up the stairs, and it kind of looks like cardboard or paper bags. And there is a Goomba here, and of course people you can talk to, characters you can talk to, they have a sign above their head with 3 dots. That's how you know you can talk to them. I would just dress them up, man. What's so hard about adding a hat or like a bow tie or a different color even? You know, then it becomes this character distinguishable from the enemies, and it's much easier. It gives them character. You know, we can make Mario Wikipedia pages about these guys, and you expand the lore, you make people happy. I don't really understand these choices. So there's a little cloud shape in the background. Mario can punch that thing with his paint hammer. So now Mario is on the outside of the Coliseum. We can see spikes everywhere, so you better not fall into that because you lose a lot of damage and fall down. But Mario is actually, sneaking along the sides of this, kind of taking a page from, Toon Link in the Wind Waker. Looks very close to that animation. Very cute, fits Mario well, and I think that we're going to see a lot more very cool moves that Mario can do in this game that he wasn't able to do in, the previous big Paper Mario games. Also, you guys know that I haven't played Sticker Star to the fullest. I have played the game, but I was very bored by it, and I thought that it was very bland, and that it kind of took everything the Paper Mario series did and kind of didn't pay attention to anything. So, things that happen in this game that come from Sticker Star, I might not always notice right at the same time. I should probably go back and play that game, but I don't have it in me because it's not that good of a game. So we can see here that an exclamation and a question mark block actually gives Mario the power of, super strength, invincibility, and it plays this very cool big band theme that I really like. What's more about this footage of the game is that we notice a lot of music that we don't notice in a lot of trailers, and the music of this game is really well done. It really reminds me of Super Mario 3D World in a sense, where I think it's recorded by an actual band. I think it's recorded by an actual big band, and they add synthesizer layers over it for that classic Mario feel. You can notice it in the enemy battle portions of the game, and I think those portions are really cool. The music sounds awesome. The drum fills, the whole sound of like this jazzy but gigantic sound. I really like that. So Mario is collecting this power-up to solve some kind of puzzle, probably involving his trusty hammer, and there it goes. He smashes the paper, and the cardboard flips out and forms some sort of passageway over the spikes. So Mario sidles to the side, and there we see fuzzies going around. So probably won't touch the fuzzies because you won't get dizzy, but you'll enter a fight. This also looks very close to like I thought it was a ship stage in the previous video. A fan actually pointed out that it might be an archaeology site, which this would fit really well because it's like a Colosseum and everything's old and awesome. So Mario strikes one of the fuzzies that he wasn't supposed to, and this is where we enter a battle. So, of course, we haven't seen much of battles in the trailers because they kind of want to hide the fact that there are no party members. It says Go Mario, so we probably couldn't expect anyone else to show up in these battles. I think that's a giant shame. How much programming work is that? I don't think that's like something to avoid because it's fans' favorite, you know? So Mario attacks these guys. What I really like is that the enemies are taunting you while you're battling them. You know, he's like, multiply, divide, repeat, destroy. These guys have a personality in the fights, and I like that. I hope that they don't repeat that often because it will get stale. But not having one of them says we are Legion. This is of course like an anonymous wink of the eye. Pretty well done. And the other one says it as well. So I don't hope that they will repeat these lines. And he says, if you hit us, we divide. So it's probably good to hit them and to kill them. So Mario chooses a very cool card that makes this piggy bank jump out of the sky and actually comes down to dance. There's this very weird dubstep song that plays that is very unlike Nintendo to me. So the pig starts to dance, and it's actually got quite a couple of good moves. It starts moonwalking, and it flips over, and it starts breakdancing. Looks really weird. I don't understand these choices at all, and it explodes. It hits the enemies from the explosion, and there are coins everywhere. So you probably also collect a boatload of coins from defeating this enemy. So Mario continues his adventure through the caverns of the Colosseum. There are torches in the background. Looks very quaint. Kind of reminds me of Super Mario Land, you know, the first castle where you fight the lion. I think there was also a stage inspired by that in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, something like that. So there are two guys here watching this window, watching a guy fight, and it's a Goomba and it's a Koopa, and he says we're Shy Guy's first fans. So it's probably like one of the fighters there, and he's maybe Japanese inspired Shy Guy or something. We're pre-debut groupies. That's the highest level of groupie. I like that. And the Koopa, of course, says, I hope they do well in the Battle Royale. My self-esteem is entirely based on them. So that Koopa is pretty sad. I think most of the characters sound pretty sad by the way they talk. I like that tone of voice in the writing. The localization did a great job of infusing this humor in the game. What I also like is the voices of the characters. The Koopa actually sounds like a Koopa when he talks because of the little sound bites that play when he is talking. And that kind of reminds me of Banjo-Kazooie games where the characters would have their own unique personality. Wouldn't per se talk, but the syllables that appear on screen would coincide with what they were saying, and you'd hear a little soundbite, like little burps or little weird noises. And in this game, they're doing the same thing. They didn't do that in previous games, so I like that. Looks really cool, and they're, of course, promoting their hip fighter. And then Mario stops and hears from a window, and you'll never guess what happened when he got to the back wall. He started attacking boxes like they were enemies or something. Oh wow, like, was he looking for something? What's in the boxes? No one knows. So, yeah, it's sort of a mystery what's happening. Bahahaha. Is this Bowser? Or maybe some other guy? Talk about losing your cool. Hey, I really wanted to know what was in those boxes, okay? So yeah, probably nothing, but probably someone who was training and doing some weird stuff. So here we see the save block, very reminiscent from the old Paper Mario games. I like the style. And Mario jumps into the window, and here we see something that we are very familiar with. This is, of course, the Rescue Toad V Squad, and these guys have found something for Mario. This room also looks very cool because it has weapons. You know, it has shields, it has swords on the wall, so perfect for a Colosseum. We see the boxes here, and the Toads actually have something for Mario. So this is the first time that we see the Toad V Squad in action in actual gameplay, so now we know what their role in the game will be. And like I always thought, you encounter them in certain parts of the game, and they will have, you know, secretly found something for you that will help you in your journey. And in this case, he says, "Hello, Mario, we have something for you. We received a report that one of the precious fossils from Marmalade Valley was stolen." Oh no, you think, using sophisticated Toad treasure tracking technology, and I like that callback because that means they know about the Toad treasure tracker game, which was an awesome game. You guys should totally play it because it's one of Nintendo's best Wii U games and no one plays it. It's really cool and cute. And he says, "We tracked it here." And here it is. So it's a giant bone. I was told that you'd be quite pleased with this result, the toad says. So don't hold back. You can give me a hug if you like, or hug the bone if you prefer. I was told that that's a thing that you might do as well. So yeah, Mario for sure squeezes the bone if you press the button. And this is actually when you find these big items that will help you in battle. These real-life objects, you squeeze them together, you squeeze the juice out of them, and you put them in a card. You got bone. So Mario got boned. It says, a favorite snack of round pets with sharp teeth, high in calcium. So yeah, bones are of course very high in calcium. A favorite snack of round pets. So I think we know a certain character in the Mario universe that is round and has very sharp teeth. Would it be able to maybe chase this gigantic bone? Who knows? We're gonna find out. Mario finds this red Shy Guy, and were those 3 yellow toads in my dressing room this whole time? I feel so violated. So apparently the toads were just sneaking into someone's dressing room, and hopefully nothing bad has happened inside there. But Mario talks to like the shopkeep or the guy in charge of the elevator, and he says, just hop on the elevator and it'll take you to where you need to go. Good luck out there. So this is a very nice guy. The elevator pops down, and it feels like the level is a lot longer than we're shown here, because when Mario goes up the elevator here, we actually see the Colosseum already. The paint can pops out, and I'm very sorry that I don't know the name of the paint can. He probably has a name that involves can or something. I don't know. Let's call him Canny. This is Kenny. That's my brother's name. So this is Kenny, differently spelled. Look, Mario, here it is, he says. And then we see the big overview of the Colosseum with only Shy Guys, Goombas, and Koopas. I think that the crowd could have been so much more diverse, with people from all over the country, maybe some toads in there, maybe characters that were not enemies from Mario, maybe some differently colored people, but sure, okay, I get it, it's saving space, but this is a Nintendo Wii U game. You can handle big crowds, and these are paper characters. These are essentially sprites. You can add so much more, Nintendo. Why are you so afraid of big crowds in games? Even in Smash Brothers games, they look so low polygon and terrible. I don't get it. Games can do this. Nintendo games cannot do this. I have no earthly idea why this is not possible on a Nintendo system. NX, please give us actual crowds in games. I would love a Mario sports game where if you look in the crowd, you can actually see the crowd that we see in CG cutscenes of those games. I can imagine the Mario Tennis, I think it's called Mario Power Tennis for the GameCube. Those CG cutscenes look so amazing. The crowds look so good and rendered, and I think even the golf games as well. And it's so sad that it just doesn't happen in game, and even in a game where it's paper characters. Nintendo. Okay, anyway, we see a big platform with a big paint star. So in the previous video that I made, we saw the red paint star. This is the yellow paint star, so it's even more reminiscent of a Shine Sprite. And then we hear a voice say, ah, ha, 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 ha. He fell for it. I really painted you into a corner now, Mario. And I like that. Welcome to the Battle Royal, the last fight of your life. That sounds really dark, though. So these platforms, they jump out of the ground with these sets of awesome enemies on there. Different colors, I like it. There are even Hammer Brothers. Very cool. I've seen instances of even Sledge Brothers appearing here, and maybe even a Sledge Brother wearing glasses, so who knows, the Sledge Brothers might be back. Snippets are there, and what I really like is that these guys just attack Mario right away. And it's just a Colosseum full of guys, and even the Hammer Brothers throw their hammers all over the place, so you won't be able to run for a long time before getting hit. Luckily, if you get hit once, this is the battle, and you won't be, having to battle all these groups. This is just the whole battle. And one of the guys says, or probably the boss says, tear him apart! 50 coins to whoever brings me Mario's hat. 50 coins doesn't sound like too much. Mario's worth way more than that, guy. Don't be like that. So it says, go Mario. We select cards, we fight, and of course, the enemies are heckling. He says, I'm not big, my shell's just small. So Mario is fighting these guys who have some issues. Bring down the hammer Brother says. And Mario can maybe do that because Mario, of course, himself also has a hammer. So maybe he's going to do that. There is an option to select which fighter you're going to attack, and I like that the spike enemies have these spike balls that are three-dimensional. They're cardboard, and I like the look of that. Mario selects a power-up, and this is one of the fans' most favorite power-up because we see a fully beautifully rendered real-life kitchen in 3D, and this is the lemon item. And I've seen IGN report this item as being the most realistic lemon you will ever see in a video game, and I thought that was very funny that that's actually a headline of a story nowadays. I have to disagree because I think that in Pikmin 3, the fruits look amazing, and there's probably a lemon in there, and I think it'll probably look a little better because that game was, of course, focused on making the fruit look so delicious and awesome because that's what you collect to stay alive. So I'm not sure about, the most realistic looking lemons, but for sure it looks awesome. But it also looks dangerous because if you use this item, not only do you transport these guys to a real-life kitchen, but you also spawn this gigantic lemon that cuts itself open into multiple slices, and then it squeezes out on top of the enemies this lemon juice, souring in your face, and these enemies just look like they've, seen death, and they are blinded by lemon juice. So the characters actually turn gray, like I said in the last video. They lose their color, so you can see how much HP they have left. And when Mario jumps on an enemy, you can actually see the paint effect. So the paint goes out of the enemy, the color goes out of the enemies when Mario hits them, which I think is such a cool way to do it like this. It's you don't have HP bars, and you don't need HP bars. If you do it like this, it's a very original take on seeing the enemy's health. So the spike enemy is throwing some things, but it says the attack missed. Mario is doing really great in this battle, actually. He's having a great time, absolutely destroying these enemies. And the spike says catch, and he throws the spike ball, but nothing really is going to happen ultimately because they're cowards, and Mario's just doing this very cool Yu-Gi-Oh battle, and he's actually using the hammer to hit Spike in the face. He flies away in high speed, he explodes, there's color flashing everywhere, and Mario actually gets to hit two guys in one row. I think that if you time your hammer presses right, you get 2 hits, and it says perfect, perfect bonus. So very good job, Mario. Actually, thumbs up to you, to the crowd. So Mario's quite the showman. So now we cut to Iggy, and Iggy is of course one of the Koopalings from the original Mario series. We might have missed it in this video, but Iggy actually originally shows up in this level riding some very cool carriage with chain chomps attached to it, like tiny chain chomps, and that's very reminiscent of how he shows up in New Super Mario Bros. U for the Wii U. He actually had like a cart where a giant chain chomp was attached, and I think he has some other inventions because he's looking like the inventive type of the Koopalings. He's also very tall, and this version of Iggy is gigantic. Look at that guy. He's like twice Mario's size easily. So at this part in the battle, Mario's probably already destroyed the carriage or the multiple carriages, and Mario is actually using one of his powers to defeat this guy. So a very Japanese house door closes down, and we see, of course, the Japanese imagery we've seen from the previous trailer. We see blossoms flash by, and the ground of this part actually looks like a dojo or a Japanese household. It looks very, very traditional, and I like the fact that they're just showing Nintendo's pride. Of course, everything comes out of Japan, and they're allowed to use this super Japanese power. Mario actually runs away, which I really like, and the cat, he rocketeers out of the sky. He appears above the head of Iggy, and like I said in the last video, but we didn't show it because it wasn't in that trailer, but he just stomps down on Iggy multiple times. It says good, nice, good, nice, good, nice. This hurts Iggy quite a lot, as you can see by his damage. He's already in with his knees on the paint's already gone out of him big time. So Mario decides we need more special attacks. I really hope we can skip these, by the way, because we've already seen them 6 times at this point. If we see them in the game, it'll be good for once, and then we're pretty much done with that whole idea. So the giant fan pops out of the sky, out of the galaxy, planet Earth. We see it, which is weird because is the Mushroom Kingdom on planet Earth? Is the Mushroom Kingdom real? I don't know. Don't think about that too much. You know, a riff of the 2001 Space Odyssey theme plays while Iggy Koopa is smashed to the front of the screen. And what I don't really like is that he seems very low graphic. You know, the Iggy Koopa sprite. I think he could have, had a lot more detail. If we see these sprites up front, they look kind of, it kind of looks like it's a little too pixelated for my taste. But, maybe they can prove me wrong when I see the game in full HD on my screen. But as for now, I'm kind of disappointed. Mario smashes Iggy, and I like that he kind of flips inside out because he's paper. Nintendo loves their paper aesthetic. Mario smashes him multiple times on the face. He keeps smashing him, and it kind of looks like he's doing some great damage. And now Iggy says, "Okay, so you're not a complete waste of paint. Eyes on the prize, boys. Let's show him the real power of our chariots." And then, of course, these guys come flying around in these cool carriages, and there are chain chomps attached to them, this Sniff It and this Hammer Brother. Ah, let my minions wreck you while I go for a leisurely drive. So, I think that this guy is pretty lazy, letting these guys fight for him, but you can actually attack these guys. They are a lot stronger than normal enemies, and I like the design of the carriage as well. Looks really cool, and Mario just misses his attack. But it's all fine. Mario heals himself just a little bit to gain some advantage, and Sniff It is shooting some very cool attacks on Mario, like he does in the games where he's from. Hammer Bro deals a lot of damage, like 15 a hit. So better dodge those hammers. They're gonna hurt. And here's where Iggy comes back and he says, "What's the matter, Mario? Battle Royale not going the way you thought it would?" So he's really being mean. Well, it's about to get even worse. Line them up, boys. What's gonna happen now? Mario is going to unleash an attack that is very much needed in the heat of this battle because it isn't looking as good for our mustachioed hero, but we see in the left top corner that we might have a solution to this problem. So Mario actually uses the giant bone item that we just found in this Colosseum stage, and he flips it and he throws it behind all the enemies that are lined up perfectly. Mario points his finger, so it's like, "Hey, fetch." Who fetches? Well, we see a giant cardboard chain chomp, which is beautifully rendered, looks very cool, and it actually has a bow, so maybe it's a girl, maybe it's a guy who likes to dress up, and he actually doesn't bite the enemies or anything, he just rolls them, he steamrolls over them, and he grabs the bone, and it's the cutest thing in existence. I really love the design of this chain chomp. I think Nintendo's doing a great job at making things a little more unique, but I would love to see that more in actual gameplay, uniquer characters that don't necessarily just look like normal enemies. So I want to thank you guys for watching. This was blocked content. I hope you guys like the analyses that I put together. If you want to see more, you can always press that cool subscribe button or follow us on Twitter @SquaredThings. There's also a Facebook page. We don't use that very much, but I hope you enjoyed this, and stay tuned for more Paper Mario Color Splash. Thank you.